All right, Squad Fam. Today we are going to do a Sinister Sunday, and we're going to Austin, Texas. And we're going to the Driskill Hotel. And this building was completed in 1886 and is the oldest operating hotel in Austin, Texas, United States, and one of the best known hotels in Texas in general. The Driskill was conceived and built by Colonel Jesse Driskill, a cattleman who spent his fortune constructing the finest hotel south of St. Louis. Today, the Driskill remains one of the premier hotels in Austin, featuring lavish bridal suites, 2 restaurants, a grand ballroom. It's considered one of the most haunted hotels in the United States, featuring a variety of alleged supernatural activity throughout the building, including the spirit of Colonel Driskill himself. The Driskill has been owned and operated by the Hyatt Hotel Corporation since 2013. The hotel was listed in the National Registry of Historic Places on November 25th, 1969. So, it is old, it's historic, and it's haunted. So, yes, one of the most perfect places for us to visit. Now, does it have anything interesting to tell us about the ghosts? I don't know. Anybody die there? Let's see. The hotel held its grand opening on December 20th, 1886, and was featured in a special edition of the Austin Daily Statesman on January 1st, 1887. Oh, the governor, which his name was Sol Ross, held his inaugural ball in its ballroom, beginning a tradition for every Austin, Texas governor since then. In May 1887, less than a year after it opened, the Driskill was forced to close the hotel as he could no longer afford to operate the hotel following a harsh winter and drought that killed his cattle inventory. In addition, S.E. McKinley, the hotel's general manager, and half of the staff were hired by the Beach Hotel in Galveston, which expedited the closure of Driskill. Driskill sold the hotel in 1888 to his brother-in-law, Jim Doc Bay, who reopened the hotel in January 1888. In 1950, the hotel embarked on a renovation which closed off the 6th Street entrance and removed the skylight to make way for air conditioning units on the roof. In 1969, the Driskill closed its guest rooms in anticipation for a renovation and a new tower containing a modern glass facade, which never materialized. Most of its furnishings were sold, and the American Statesman article declared Driskill's hotel fate sealed. The hotel was saved from the wrecking ball at almost the last minute. However, when a non-for-profit organization called the Driskill Hotel Corporation, it raised $900,000. Wow. So it changed hands a lot. A lot of people bought it. Braniff International Hotels Inc. of Dallas, Texas, bought the hotel in 1972 and began a $350,000 restoration of the grand lobby of the historical facility. Braniff reopened the hotel to customers on January 15, 1973. Braniff threw an official grand reopening celebration on February 10, 1973. Over 1,000 guests attended the gala event that included a parade, of every Texas governor and or their descendants since 1886. Wow, that's cool. In 1995, the Driskill was purchased by Great American Life Insurance, who embarked on a $30 million renovation and restoration of the hotel to its original appearance, which had been heavily modified over the years. The hotel closed for 4 years for renovation work and was reopened in a millennia celebration on December 31st, 1999. In 2013, the Driskill was purchased by Hyatt Hotels Corporation for $85 million, who embarked on an $8 million renovation of the hotel. So this hotel cost a lot of damn money if you add it all up. Holy moly. Like, really. Bill Clinton stayed in a 4-room cattle baron suite when he visited August, Texas in 1999. The future President Lyndon Johnson met his future wife Claudia Taylor for their first date at the Driskill dining room in 1934. It also became his campaign headquarters. Jenna Bush, daughter of President George Bush, was relocated to the hotel by Secret Service in the wake of a terrorist attack earlier that day on September 11, 2001. On March 17, 2018, actor Bill Murray recited the poem Dog from the front steps of the Driskill Hotel to promote the film Isles of the Dogs. Okay, anything else interesting here? Like, we want to find out about the ghosts. So let's check that. Anything else interesting? Anything else interesting here? All right, so you want ghosts. You're yearning for phantoms, specters, banshees, spooks, things that go bump in the night but quite possibly do the conga line out your bedroom closet and go boo. Well, you're in the right place. Austin is basically spook central. It's the sort of town with such a grand ectoplasmic infestation that every day seems like Halloween. I'm going to have to go visit Austin, Texas. The Chamber of Commerce might as well give out EMF and EMP detectors to new residents and assign each of them a turf. The Driskill Hotel was basically funded with blood money. The hotel was commissioned and paid by its namesake, Jesse Driskill. Jesse was a successful cattle baron who had moved to Texas from Missouri with an eye for making mucho dough. The spunky entrepreneur, the self-made beef baron, broke the bank when he started selling his cattle to the Confederate Army. After the Civil War went kaput and the South decided to call it quits, Jesse looked at his kingdom and realized that he was Scrooge McDuck-rich. The bloody cash had flushed him with the bank vaults of money, and in a couple of years he became one of the richest men in the state. What do barons do? The diversity for their portfolio? Jesse went and did a Trump. He got himself a hotel. Jesse bought the land, and 2 years later he had the grand opening, all paid with the blood money. So, okay, the Driskill has what could be described as a karmic whammy on itself. It was paid, furnished, and marketed with coin chiseled into Jesse's pocket on the backs of dead soldiers, human misery, and slaughtered cows. The whole assembly line, from start to finish, was drenched with blood and vile. You think that's why it's haunted? I don't know. Now, let's talk about the ghosts. and the goblins of the place. Let's focus on that. Let's sweep under the rug all those years because, frankly, aside from the fact President Johnson had his first date with his wife at the bar, the place is basically a by the numbers joint with some history but nothing to really write home about. It has a rich history, but but few car wrecks to really get our ghoulish blood pumping. Let's get to the juicy bit and really dig our teeth into what you came here for. The lucid tale of phantoms, ghosts, and mayhem. Let's unearth the skeletons in the closet. This place has become crazy with haunting. The Driskill is so full of ghosts that it even has a Spotify playlist devoted to the subject. I kid you not. The cowboy, Jesse Driskill, is said to haunt the hotel. Shortly after the hotel opened, Jesse came under the pressures of financial hardship. That's code for he blew his earnings on booze, women, and gambling. Jesse had no choice but to forfeit the ownership of the Driskill almost immediately after it opened. A game of cards did the cowboy in. Jesse lost the deed at the poker table. Whoa. By that point, he was a mess and up to his eyeballs in debt. Oh, so that's how his brother-in-law ended up with it? Don't play cards with your brother-in-law. So one of the most favorite stories is one of the few sightings we've had of Colonel Driskill. One of his favorite rooms in the hotel overlooks 6th Street and Bronzos. And there was a consultant in town who woke up one night to see the gentleman standing in his room looking out the window at about 3 o'clock in the morning, puffing on a cigar. He sat up in bed and said, "Hey, fella, what the hell are you doing in my room?" He said the guy looked at him and gave him this look like your room, but he didn't say anything. The consultant leaned over and snapped on the light by the bed, and when the light came on, there was no one standing by the window, but the curtains were still swaying, and there was still a cloud of smoke and cigar smell in the air. And that's just one of the many spirits that seem to be fixtures in the Driskill. There's a bride. In the early 1990s, a distraught bride checked into room 329 of the Driskill. Her fiancé had just called off the wedding. The woman decided to blow over $40,000 on a shopping spree and culinary free-for-all on her second day of mourning. On the third, she lined up all her swag next to her bed, pulled out a gun, and blew her head off. Oh, we're staying in her room if we go there. She used a pillow to muffle the sound of the round. To this day, guests swear they see her ghost towing bags up and down the halls of the hotel. Can't take it with you. Did you ever hear that, lady? Lord, don't ever kill yourself over no damn idiot man. Okay, next. The child. Another of the ghosts said to haunt the Driskill is that of a child who died after plummeting to his death down a flight of stairs. Aww. The kid made a grab for his bouncy ball and overreached. Paranormal investigators have managed to catch the faint sound of a ball ping-ponging against the wall while a mischievous voice giggles. Okay, that's a scary one. Painting. Wow, there's a haunted painting? Another folk story surrounding the Driskill is that one of the paintings found on the 5th floor of the hotel. The artwork is unnamed, but it's based on a painting by Charles Garland called Love Letter, and it's an unnerving piece brought to life by Richard King. It dissipates a little girl holding a bouquet of flowers in one hand and a letter in another. Ghost hunters claim that the painting dissipates the 4-year-old daughter of the U.S. Senator Temple Leah Hudson, who died in a horrible accident at the hotel. The painting is said to be haunted, and people who scroll by it constantly feel the presence of something sinister riding their coattails until they vacate the cursed building. Oof. And for all those history buffs, perhaps the most famous ghost duet to haunt the hotel is the power couple of Lady Bird and LBJ. The pair had their first hookup date in 1934 in the Driskill dining room. Remember, we talked about that. For years, they flocked to the place to not only relive their glory days, but for special occasions. The Driskill became Lyndon Johnson's favorite place when he visited Austin, so much that he watched the results of 1964 presidential election from the presidential suite. After he bagged the ballots, he addressed his supporters in the ballroom and moved his tail feathers in rather an insane victory dance to the cheer of his lackeys. The Driskill was quite possibly LBJ's favorite place in Austin. To this day, people recount tales of stumbling into the ballroom and catching the reflection of the late president and his adoring wife on the mirrors or out of the corner of their eye. Wow. Basically, that's the ghosts that are said to haunt there. And I wonder if we could find any pictures, and I'll definitely add in pictures of the hotel and inside the hotel, but let's see if we can find any pictures of ghosts. Let's see, they said ghost hunters went there. Maybe there's some stuff on it. All right, Squad fam. So what do you think? Haunted? Not haunted? I don't know. If a child fell to his death, I would assume that a child was probably there. I can't find any proof that that girl that they're talking about in the painting died there. But anyway, yeah. So I included some pictures, and so you could let me know what you think about that. I mean, the place is gorgeous. I would stay there just to stay there, you know, without any ghosts. But the ghosts make it better. So we will see you guys on the next Sinister Sunday, on the next adventure. And like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and I hope you guys enjoy. Take care.